Hey, what's up, everybody? This is, and you are tuned into Conversations with Whiskey Blue.
And Eric too.
Yes, welcome. We're glad to have you all here with us. And we say to you all, welcome. We're so grateful to have you all here with us. And tonight we will be having what we're calling a talk soup. And we're going to be talking about a few different things. Not just one thing, but a few different things. And we may have some guests popping on this evening. So we'll see if you all want to come in and be a part of today. Let me know. I will send you the link for sure. And you can come into the studio with us if you want to be a part and join with us on today. Today, as we said, this is going to be a talk soup, and I'll start it off by saying to you all that we're stirring the pot with a talk soup that goes deeper than headlines and hashtags. We're opening the table for a raw, real, necessary dialogue about four themes shaping our lives and our communities right now. So we're going to be talking about Pride Month, health, mental health awareness, everybody wants to belong, and the challenge of finding and building community. So, what do you want to talk about first, Eric?
Hey, Veronica.
Um,
I think first let's say happy Pride to everyone. The month of June is Pride Month, and I hope it goes well for everyone and you have fun.
All
yeah,
right, for sure. Happy Pride Month. I've been posting stuff all day today, wishing people a happy Pride Month on my page. So we have been putting it out there, and one of the things that we're going to first of all, hey, what's up with you, Veronica? How you get here? How you get in here, Veronica?
mm, yes, I
You
got the
you,
link.
you just clicked the link and ended up on screen. You must have some power these days.
I told you I'm coming in.
Okay. Well, it's so good to have you with us on today. I will say as we start talking about Pride Month, that Pride Month is more than a celebration. We explore pride as a living testimony of courage, history, and visibility. And I want to ask, what does it mean to honor the journey, protect the vulnerable, and create space where every identity is seen and valued? So we're going to start off talking about Pride Month. And again, as Eric said to you, happy Pride Month, everybody. So talk to us, Eric.
Well, I think I keep running across some posts on Facebook um, with the specific question, do we still need Pride Month? And for me, it's a resounding yes, because we are still getting pushback um, from our own government, from people running for government. They seem to really enjoy um, discounting us as human beings. Um, I I still hear of this person was attacked. This person was held up and robbed, and these people were hurt because of. It has to stop. It has to stop. This is complete and utter bullshit. Um, the only thing different between me and anyone else, is who I invite into my bed, which is no one's fucking business. So if you can't look at me as a human being, I can't look at you as a human being either, because if you're going to be so bothered by someone else's private activities, there that says something about you, not me. Because I don't give a shit who you invite into your bedroom. None of my business. Um, so yeah, on that topic, yes, I think we still need pride. We still have a long way to go. Um, and as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's gonna. The battle hasn't slowed down at all. So
I
that's
hear
my
you.
2 cents.
I hear you, Eric. I hear you, Eric. I want to share with you all the posts that I posted on my Facebook page today. Of course, my Facebook page still says Kenton Rogers as I begin to really build my Whiskey Blue page. But my my page, I put this out today. Happy Pride Month, today and every day. I stand with the beautiful, diverse, resilient LGBTQIA plus community. Pride is more than a celebration. It's a declaration of love, dignity, courage, and belonging. To everyone living with truth, living their truth,
Yeah.
discovering their truth, or fighting for the right to express it. You are seen, you are valued, you are loved. Let's continue to build the world rooted in love, respect, kindness, peace, and unity. Happy Pride, family. Whiskey Blue. All right. That was what I posted today. It's about love, pride, and equality. And so, yeah, I'm standing with you, Eric, because I agree. We still need Pride Month. We still need Black History Month. We
Oh,
still need all.
absolutely.
We really should need these things, but we need these things because there are so many people who are behind and who have not evolved with the times and everything like that. So yes, I agree with you. We still need it, and I still listen, and I let people know. Listen, I am a What do I say? I'm truthful about this. I am single, celibate, and I'm satisfied. But yet I still stand with the LGBTQIA community. And I think what the big problem is that people are, what's the word I want to say? They're biased, number one, but they don't take time to get to know people that are not like them. If you take time, listen, I work and I do advocacy work, community advocacy work. And in the community, I have to deal with all types of people. So I'm not closed minded like so many people are. And number two, I have done many things in my life. Listen, I've been with women, I've been with men. So how am I going to turn around and shut down on people that do what I have done in my lifetime? I am about loving everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to I was fighting for the LGBTQI community. I was affirming 25, 30 years ago when I was in New York City. I love people. And if people are kind to me, I'm going to be kind to them. I don't care whether you're heterosexual or LGBTQI plus, because it really is none of my business who you're sleeping with. But at the same time, if you treat me kind, I'm gonna treat you kind. You know what I'm saying? If you
Absolutely.
steal from me, I'm not gonna want to be bothered with you because that's not love and that's not kindness to steal from me or anything. But I'm gonna still love you and be kind to you and respect you, even though you didn't love and you weren't kind and respected me. Veronica, jump on in here since you're here with us today.
Everything y'all said is true. Who a person let in their bed ain't nobody damn business but them.
Show up, show up. I
Because
told Veronica,
because I stand
Eric,
with it too.
say that again, Veronica.
I stand with it too. Cause we got some, how do you put it? We got some crazy people in this world.
Right.
Something against, you know, a person that's not like them. And
Yeah,
I think it's crazy and it's wrong. Like I say, I love everybody, me. I don't
yeah,
pick, I don't choose. Just love everybody.
yeah. And I do too. Listen, I love the people there's a whole lot of people out there that talk about people in the LGBTQIA community while at the same time, and I'm talking about preachers, preachers. that have such an issue with people with the LGBTQI community working and serving in ministry while they themselves are sleeping with people in their congregation, while they're married and have children outside of their marriage and everything like that. But then they want to stand up and downgrade people who decide or who are LGBTQIA plus. You know what I'm saying? Come on, stop being so biased. And listen, consider yourself. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we got to be careful of how we talk about other people and don't love other people when we ourselves want to be loved this way.
Can
Talk
I
to me,
speak now?
Eric.
No, he can go.
No, I'm sorry. I totally agree. Um, when you have people standing at the pulpit and they're basically it's blatant that there's such bigotry towards someone when in fact they need to look in the mirror. Like you said, they have multiple wives, they have children from all of those different marriages, or not even marriages, sometimes just affairs.
Yeah.
Um, they're quick to condemn someone else, but they need to look in the mirror. I mean, I did read a study that says that people who believe in God and religion and all of that stuff has decreased. The percentage has decreased. So not as many people as going to church. Now, when they ask if they're spiritual, there's a difference. There's religion and you follow the Bible, blah, blah, blah. Then there's spirituality, and they're more likely to accept spirituality, which means you're more open to things. You are less judgmental. Who you perceive as your own personal God doesn't necessarily mean the one that's in the Bible. So it still amazes me that these preachers are standing at the pulpit and condemning people, which only drives people away from the church, in my opinion. Who wants to go and sit in church and basically get the Bible thrown at you because you're different? And the only difference, again, I go back to the only difference between that person and myself is who I ask into my bedroom. That's it. That's the one thing. Not that I'm a bad person or a good person, or I stole from Granny, or, I knocked somebody out of a wheelchair. Nothing like that. Who I ask into my bed. To me, that is the ultimate hypocrisy, because again, they won't even look in the mirror and accept their own failure as they see everyone else has failed.
Eric, I like that word that you used. I was trying to think of it, the word bigotry, because that's
Bigotry,
exactly
yeah.
what it is. It's bigotry, and I just wish that people would just learn to love, respect, and walk in kindness and peace and unity, because one of the things that I see is that you can have people that talk about people who are LGBTQI, but then they're gossipers, and they don't see nothing wrong with being a gossiper. They don't see nothing wrong with being a bigot. They don't see nothing wrong with being a meddling in other people's affairs or stuff like that. They've been married multiple times and they still have living husbands and wives. If you're going to deal with stuff, deal with this straight across the board. But none of us are perfect. So even if you else to be imperfect about them, you know what I'm saying? Look at yourself at the fact that you're not perfect either. How many times do you talk about people? How many times have you lied on people? How many times have you borrowed money from people and never paid them back? You know what I'm saying? We just got to learn. Listen, all of us need love. All of us need respect. All of us need kindness and peace and unity because ain't none of us perfect. And if you're perfect out there and you're watching this today, please show up and raise your hand and say something. I want to see you today. Veronica, it's on you now. I'm sorry.
Because I'm about to say this, but I don't care. I might step on a few toes, but I'm gonna say this here. They got a lot of them still in the closet. They need to come out and live in their truth. Cause life is too short.
Life is too short. There is something that's called internalized homophobia. That means people who practice, people who are themselves a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, they have internalized homophobia. You know what I'm saying? And Eric and I was talking about something even yesterday as we were preparing for this show today about how the LGBTQI community is not even, you know, joined together on one accord as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of breakdown even within the LGBTQI community. So again, we need to be walking in love, respect, peace, kindness, and unity. Eric, what's up?
I I totally feel a discord in our community. It is not. When I was in my 20s, I'm now almost 60. But in my 20s, I marched in my first Pride parade. You know, we went out, we partied, we had each other's backs. Even if we didn't really know you personally, if we saw each other on the street and we recognized each other, we at least said hi. Nowadays, it seems that we've taken steps back. It's like if I were to meet somebody on the street and we recognized each other, it's almost embarrassing for them to have you acknowledge that you know them. Dude, I'm what the hell? You're not paying my bills. I'm not sleeping with you. What the hell's up? I'm just saying hi. You know, the gay community, as much as I love it, has some serious issues. If you're not young, hung, and gorgeous and make a lot of money, at a certain age, you're just an old fag. And that literally breaks my heart because it was us old fags that in the 80s stood up for our rights. We fought through the AIDS epidemic. We marched. We were not afraid to say, you know, enough is enough. And yes, I realize it did start in the 70s, but momentum from the 70s to the 80s was magnificent. And nowadays, like I said, if you're not young, make a bunch of money, and gorgeous, you're not nothing anymore. Well, yeah, I am. I'm still a gay man that fights for equal rights for everyone, not just for us. We've always been a community that accepted the people on the fringes. You know, I call her our godmother, Marcia, and I can't remember her last name, at the Stonewall riots. We accept and acknowledge everyone, at least we used to, but now there, like I said before, there is such a disconnect that it's painful. It is painful. I mean, I still go to the little gay celebration, the Pride Day celebration here that we hold in October, but it's like, you're not important. You're not somebody in the city management or, you know, a professor at the university or own your own business. I mean, I'm a disabled, older gay man. My existence to the younger generation I don't exist. They could care less. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I wish that we had that connection when I was younger, because as I get older, I feel more pushed to the fringes, where we used to, hold those people to our heart that were part of the fringes. Now it's like, no, you go back. You're not in the main show here anymore. So I guess it's a love-hate relationship with our community. And I guess that's something I have to work over or work on, because I don't see it changing anytime soon, which is unfortunate because, like I said before, we still have battles to fight. We need every person available to stand up and fight. But yet you're going to ostracize us because we're not of a certain age or look a certain wage or make a certain amount of money. I call bullshit on it. Y'all are riding on our coattails, and yet you're pushing us to the back. I'm done.
I believe that you were talking about Marsha P. Johnson.
Johnson, yes. Yes.
Was an American drag queen, LGBTQI plus activist, and co-founder of Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries.
Yep. And supposedly the first person to throw a brick during the riots. At least that's what some stories tell about the situation. I meant to do this. I meant to do this a long time ago. I want to find a really nice picture of her, and I know there are several, and I want it hanging on my wall. She was important to me when I was in my 20s, when I first found out about her. And she's still important to me today, even though we lost her a long time ago. But even still, the younger generation, the younger little gay babies, they don't know their history. And some of them don't care to. And as gay babies, there is a certain responsibility as an elder of the gay community that we're responsible for teaching them. And if we don't, then our history is going to be going by the wayside. So, okay, I'm really done this time.
I'm sharing some of those pictures.
Do what?
Do you see those pictures? I said, you don't see those pictures I'm sharing?
Yes. Yep.
I'm trying to multitask.
I love that one.
For you all that don't know, that's Marsha P. Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that so people have an idea of who we were talking about. I will say this for sure to all of us. Listen, you don't, even if people push you or try to push you to the background, you have to have a tenacity and a zeal about you that don't allow people to push you to the background. I'm 57 years old and I'm still out here doing activist work. I do work for the LGBTQ community, IA plus community. I do work for people who are living with HIV, and I'm grateful. Even want to see this about Veronica. Veronica has become a part of person living with and affected by HIV United. And she has become, we have a group that now has how many people now, Veronica?
117 the last time I checked.
That's awesome.
Yes. We started this group, and then Veronica came on in and had become an admin along with me. She does a lot of the work on pushing this organization because we are fighting to reestablish the enthusiasm behind HIV and AIDS awareness as well. And I'm grateful for her. And
Am
we
I counted in that? Did y'all
say
count
that.
me?
Yeah,
Say
you
that
in
again,
too.
Emmett.
Yeah,
Did you count me in that number?
Yes, I'm sure you're in there.
Okay, I better be.
I mean, I sent you an invite for the group. Did you accept it?
Oh, hell, I don't know. Where'd you send it? Facebook?
Well, we'll worry about that after we get finished the show tonight.
Okay.
Also, Veronica Host has been coming. Listen, I started coffee and conversations in the morning, but Eric be sleep in the morning and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm not a,
And
I'm not a morning
Veronica has
person.
become a part of that as well. She started when I first started. Now I had to change the name to Coffee and Conversation with Whiskey Blue and Friends.
There you go.
What's up, Veronica? You got something to say?
I stand with it because I know a lot of people. I don't make no thing. Everybody, like I say, I love everybody. I
And
don't make it different. Some
that's the
people
way
get
it should
different with people
be.
like that, but I don't.
That's an excellent attitude, Veronica, because that's how it should be. I don't care if you are Christian or spiritualist or Wiccan or a witch or whatever. Common sense says we are supposed to be nice to our fellow person, other humans. That's not such a hard concept. Why is it that we get so bent out of shape when somebody's in a hurry and cuts us off, or they're rude at the grocery store?
Don't.
They're having a bad day. Take the time and be nice. Maybe you'll change their attitude. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
All right. We're going to move on to our mental health and awareness part of our show tonight. This episode, mental health awareness, the battle we don't post about. I want to talk about this because last month, the month of May, was Mental Health Awareness Month. And we did not do anything or talk about it on last month. So as a part of this talk to, I wanted to talk about it, because we break the silence around emotional exhaustion, trauma, healing, and quiet struggles people carry. This conversation centers compassion, truth telling, and the power of asking for help without shame. And I think it's important that we talk about this even as we move and segue out of Pride Month being more than a celebration. There are so many people within the LGBTQI plus and people who are outside of the LGBTQI plus community that deal with mental health issues, mental illness, and mental health. And listen, it deals with everybody. It doesn't matter about your sexual orientation or your gender or the color of your skin or your race. There are so many people that are dealing with this, and this is a battle that we don't post about. And so I wanted to talk about that. What do y'all have to say about this?
You go ahead, Veronica.
Because, like you say, on mental health, I seen an article. This girl, her mother said she had mental issue, and she set herself on fire. She died, and her baby died too.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know people who are, listen, and I'll be honest, I've dealt with some mental illness moments in my life. I've had a stroke, and strokes are brain, brain situation, and it affects you in different ways and stuff like that. I'm so glad that I'm not bipolar, but I know people who are bipolar, and they're my friends. I'm so glad I know people who are schizophrenic, and they are my friends. There are people that are dealing with their mental illnesses. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have a mental illness and not deal with it at all. It's another thing to have a mental illness and to deal with it. Some people can deal with it through talk therapy. Some people need to see a psychiatrist and have medication. Everybody don't need to be on medication. Some people do need to be on medication. They're not all the same, but ultimately, whatever it is, don't be afraid to deal with your mental health because mental health matters, and we want all of you to be healthy. We don't want you living out there under depression. We don't want you living out there thinking about committing suicide and taking your life or killing somebody else. We want you to do what needs to be done to be healthy mentally and emotionally. Talk to us, Eric.
Oh, this one is kind of touchy for me. I was diagnosed with depression when I was still in high school. Which, yeah, okay, being a gay kid in high school, even though I wasn't out at the time, not to mention PTSD from childhood experiences. And I know I'm one of those that have to be on medication because once I stop taking medication, my mind goes into the darkest places. So if you've ever, for those who go to those dark places, I know what you're talking about. Please swallow a little bit of your personal pride and go get help. I know here in Illinois, mental health is a huge deal, especially here in Champaign-Urbana. There are several places you can get help. I don't have any of that information, but I hope the best for them. I hope they get help for themselves. There's no reason not to. You just have to take that first step and say, you know what? I'm still a person. I'm still a person of value, and I don't deserve to live this way. Seek help. There's tons of help out there. Sorry. I think the one situation that really still nags at me is that my brothers and I had a foster brother, and he ran away, and we got news that he had hung himself. I never knew why. I knew that there were some issues that led up to us being a foster family for him. We were, I want to say he was 16 and maybe I was 14 or something like that. So I just cringe when someone says, I'm tired of living. I'm not worth living. I'm not worth anything. Nobody likes me. Baby, that's not the case. That's not the case.
Eric, thank you for sharing, man. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And I will say as well, you that for many years, I was on depression medication. I'm no longer on depression medication, but I do know what it's like to deal with depression and to be on medication. And I know what it's like to no longer be on medication, and have to find ways every day of my life. I've learned how to manage it and to work through it and stuff like that. Some people need medication, some people don't. Some people start out on medication and can work their way off of it. I don't know what your situation is because everybody has a different story. But we're here to love, respect, to walk in kindness, peace, and unity. And one thing that I will say to you all, if you're listening, is that if you need a resource and don't know where, we didn't have the information given, but 211 is a great resource. Call 211 from wherever you live. Tell them what your situation is and what kind of resources you need. And I promise you, you can get some help. You are not alone. Veronica, talk back to us.
Yeah, because in my family is bipolar disorder. I know a few that suffer with that, and they have to be on medication. So I know what Eric talking about, and I know what you're talking about. I know what it's like. So if anybody out there going through that, please get the help you need. Before it's too late.
Indeed.
Definitely.
Yep. And I will say this Pride Month is more than a celebration, and it's this month of June. Mental Health Awareness Month is the month of May. You know, Black History Month is the month of February. But listen, we need these to not just be for a month. We're grateful for a month, but there needs to be pride celebration, and people need to be walking and dealing with pride. You know what I'm saying? And mental health awareness more than just once a month, a year, 1 month a year. We need to start talking about these things 12 months a year and always talking about them to continue to educate people, to continue to educate them and eradicate the stigma. You know what I'm saying? We're grateful for this month. We're grateful for the month of May. We're grateful for the month of February. But listen, we got a whole lot more work to be doing, people. Funding is being cut in so many ways. Enthusiasm is being lost. And we have to keep up the enthusiasm. The only way to do that is for us to keep talking about it, not just 1 month a year, but 12 months a year. We're going to segue out of our mental health and awareness part of our talk to session into everybody wants to belong. From families to faith spaces to friendships, we talk about the universal human longing to be accepted without conditions. Why is belonging so hard to find? And what does it take to build it authentically? What does it take to build belonging and community authentically? Talk back to me, you all.
Go ahead, Veronica.
He's
Uh,
just throwing it back on you, ain't he, Veronica?
like everybody, wants to be, belong and want to be accepted. Like you go to your parents and you have a secret to tell them, but you don't know how to tell it to them because you don't know how they're gonna react to what you but to tell them. You be scared, so you can find you know, somebody else because you don't know how they're gonna react to what you but to tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, there's, I keep going back to when I was in high school. There's always that one friend, your best friend, that even if you haven't come out to them, they kind of know. We hope as we get older that by living our truth, friends like that continue to come into our life. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't have that opportunity. I just, all I can think of is some kid in the middle of, I don't know, no offense to Nebraska or Oklahoma, but, in the middle with no one to talk to, looking for that community. That goes back to what we were saying. We need pride every day, not just once a month. We need people stepping up every day, to acknowledge those babies in a place where they are scared. They're looking for their community, and we need to be there for them. There is a national hotline. I'm going to look it up right quick, but there is a national hotline. I want to say it's suicide prevention gay hotline. Let me go. Y'all talk. I'll be right back.
One of the things that I will jump in and say is that if anyone is out there that's in need of a community that's loving and embracing, you know what I mean, and about love, respect, kindness, peace, and unity, we're a community here, right here. We're a virtual community, but I'm grateful for having Veronica as a part of my community. I'm grateful for having Eric as a part of my community. These are two people that's in my life that I can talk to. I have my best friend Pat, who's a part of my community. I'm a part of the Greater Community AIDS Project Board of Directors, which is a community that I'm a part of. I'm a part of Second Chance Kidney Transplant Group. I have people who are on peritoneal dialysis that are part of my community. So look, I am so grateful to have people that I'm connected with. I'm so grateful for all of you here as well. I see Veronica every morning, and she be texting me saying, "I need the link. I need the link." You know, I say, "I'm gonna get to it, Veronica. As soon as I get off of this machine, I'm gonna send you the link." But she's enthusiastic about us getting together every morning from Monday through Friday. And so, Eric, I thank God for you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to play rummy with you, even though I don't think you play fair all the time. But I love you for playing rummy. I'm gonna beat you real soon again.
I play fair.
I'm just kidding.
You're
I'm just.
just slow.
Did you find the hotline?
I did. There are several numbers, and I don't know how. You know what? I'm going to save this, and on my personal Facebook, I'm going to put it up.
Okay.
There is a LGBT national hotline. There is an LGBT national coming out support hotline. There is a national youth talk line and a national senior hotline. So this is not just for the young people. They have finding resources near me, which would be awesome for anyone to have. A one-on-one chat line. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to put that. Let me try to send it to you.
How about we do this, Eric, with that? How about we come on every first and third Thursday to do conversations with Whiskey Blue and Eric too? How about we put together a list of hotlines and do a show on the third Thursday and just call it Hotline
Got
and
it.
put out all of the hotlines that are out there for anybody that may need that we can find and put them out there on our next podcast.
Okay, we can do that. That's excellent.
Yeah, that gives us time to do the work and put out there in a way that's effective. You know what I mean? And really, we can reach. We'll figure out a name for that show. We call it Hotline or something like that. So, As we get ready to wrap up this evening, we've talked about Pride Month, more than a celebration, mental health awareness, the battle we don't post about. Everybody wants to belong. We've talked about that. The challenge of finding or building community. We kind of touched on that in the last part about everybody wants to belong. But the challenge of finding or building community. Community doesn't just happen, it's created. Listen, one of the things about me, I'm out here creating community. You Community doesn't just happen, it's created. We unpack the barrier, the breakthrough, and the responsibility we all share in shaping spaces where people feel safe, connected, and supported. I want to be a part of spaces where I feel safe, spaces where I feel connected, spaces where I feel supported, But I also realize that it's created, it's not going to always just happen. I have to create spaces sometimes. And that's what we've done. That's what we've done with Conversation with Whisky Blue and Eric too. That's what we do with Coffee and Conversation with Whisky Blue and friends. And with other type of communities that I'm a part of and that I support. I have to go out there and unpack the barrier, the breakthroughs and the responsibility that I have to take responsibility as well. If I'm going to be a part of a community, I have to be willing to do what needs to be done to help build a community if there isn't a community that I'm looking for, or if there's one that's out there that's already started, then making myself available and a part of it. Talk to me, you all, about the challenge of finding or building community that you yourself may have experienced.
Go ahead, Veronica.
Veronica, we're going to end up having to change the name of this show to Conversation with Whisky Blue and Veronica too, because Eric keeps throwing it on you.
Well, I don't want her to feel left out. I mean, this is right now it's a three-way conversation.
I get it. Go ahead, Veronica.
You see, we gotta build the communities where people, come together, build it. To get to know one another.
Yeah.
How do you go about that for yourself? I mean, do you go to coffee shops? Do you go to the library?
Like always be going like to the library where not too far from where I live at. Yeah. Meet people,
I know,
library.
right. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, go to church." I don't do church. I'm better off going down to the coffee shop. Unfortunately, I have mobility issues being in a wheelchair, but I need to kick myself in the ass. I need to get out. I need to go to the stores that have the little rainbow flag in it, see what's going on, talk to some people if they're willing to talk. Whisky, you and I talked about getting a table for Pride in October. I think that's something that we really need to seriously consider, because this conversation, a lot more people could be participating and get something out of it. This is the best way for me to voice my opinion, because I'm not going down to the library or coffee shops or, stuff like that. But I say this with I know I should be preaching to myself. You need to get out there. You need to make yourself visible. You need to acknowledge other people in your community and try to strike up friendships with people that you never thought were possible before. I don't care how different you are. That might be a great friendship. You just never know until you find it.
Exactly. I'm in so much agreement with that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have been out in the community. I'm grateful to have traveled the world. And because I've traveled the world, I know people all over. I know Veronica. Veronica is down in Gonzales, Louisiana.
Oh, you said it right.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Veronica was coming to performances that and recordings that I was doing in New Orleans, Louisiana. I didn't know she
Wow.
was in the crowd, but she was out there, and she was liking my music and stuff. And she was a fan of my music, but now she's become a friend. You know what I'm saying? From Gonzales. You are here in Champaign, Urbana, area. And you're my friend, Eric. And I have people who are my friends and I'm connected to. Some of them are LGBTQR plus, and some of them are not. You know what I'm saying? Veronica isn't. You know what I'm saying? But we're great friends. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful to have a community that's very eclectic. But I get myself out there. You know what I'm saying? You have got to tell me you don't want to be involved with me, or I got to make a decision I don't want to be involved with you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people out there that I met that I really don't want to be friends with. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
the only way I know whether I want to be friends with them is to start getting to know them. You know what I'm saying? And then going from there. And if it's a connection, we're connected. And sometimes there are people that you're connected to for a season and may not be connected to for a lifetime. And then there are some people that I'm connected to that I don't talk to every day. I see Veronica every morning. And then I call her on Saturday morning. I just call her on Facebook and she be having her little beanie on or something like that. Out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just that kind of person. I love people. I love community. And then there are times where I just need to be by myself and to decompress. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the kind of person I am. I love people, and then at times I need to take time just for myself so I can replenish. You know what I'm saying? So that my energy stays good and up. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that your cup stay full so you can continue to have great relations. And I don't turn away. I don't want to turn people away from me because I get drained and start treating them in a way that's not even the way I treat people because my cup has gotten empty. So I have to maintain that balance, having friendship and connection, but making sure I'm taking care of myself and having self care as well. And that's one of the first things about having connection with others. You yourself have got to be well with yourself.
Yeah, you have to be aware of your energy level, your mental health. You have to take me time. You have to recharge. If you can't do those for yourself, you're not going to be able to do that for anyone else. I've always been a person where, I don't know, you come into my house, have you eaten? Are you hungry? Do you need something?
Amen.
And I still feel that. And I'm very grateful that Whiskey, that you are my friend, because you fulfill that for me every time you come over. I want to make sure that you've eaten.
And
But
I
I
appreciate
miss but I miss the other people. Does that make sense?
it.
I'm
Does.
not certainly not negating you by any means because you're my brother, but who's out there that needs a meal, that needs to sit and have a conversation, feel safe for a couple of hours? I'm not going to say I'm a guru, although I'm part hippie, I think. Um, I think a lot more people out there need that connection, a safe connection, without having to go to the bar, without wondering, this person has been following me a long time behind my back. I don't know what's going on. Should I be afraid or not? Um, yeah, I miss, I, I miss my old friends. I know we've all gone our separate ways, but I want new friends that know that they can come to me. I have a problem, or hey, dude, I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I'm like, sit down at the table. So I don't think we have that anymore. At least I don't know of anyone. Um, I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, that there are people out there like that. We just aren't aware of them. So I don't know, tongue in cheek, pay attention to your gay elders, because we're not all cuckoo. We do know what we're talking about. We've been around the block a few times. Um, don't dismiss us, because I would never dismiss you in any situation. So anyway, community's good, mental health is good, and you have to be able to take care of yourself before you take care of the community. And I think we've lost a lot of that.
We got work to do. We've got work to do, Eric. We've got work to do here in Champaign, Urbana. We got work to do with people living with and affected by HIV United. It's about, this is all over the country, all over the world. People are joining, and we're going to be starting some groups here in Champaign, Urbana, once a month, a face in-person group here as well. And guess what? I'm going to be rallying some people that we can go to Eric's house to eat dinner. I'll let you know, Eric, when I get them together. You know, because Eric can learn. He can cook. I don't know
Right.
how he know how to cook them sweet potato pies, but my goodness, Veronica, Eric can make a sweet potato pie.
Well,
You
I
know,
just made some butter beans. You like butter beans?
I sure do. Did you
I
make some
just made
cornbread?
some. I didn't make the cornbread yet because I'm trying to keep my air conditioner off. But
Okay.
tomorrow I'm making cornbread, no matter how hot it is. Yeah, butter beans and cornbread. You've got to have both of them,
Well, I'm coming to get me some butter beans and cornbread. I got some cornbread here. I could make that my own self and bring it.
right?
But yeah, there's a lot that we can do. You all are part of my community. Let's continue to build this community, because I believe there are other people out there that are in need of conversations with Whiskey Blue and Eric too, coffee and conversation with Whiskey Blue and friends, and just being a part of community. It's not about the name. It's about building community and friendship and fellowship, whether it be playing cards, whether it be getting together and just talking and watching a movie. We can do it. We need to build community. We have to do the work. So let's get busy, y'all. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Eric, we're going to make sure that you get that invitation if you're not already a part of person living with and affected by HIV United. And I want people to know that it is for anybody. You do not have to be HIV positive. You do not have to disclose your status. All you have to do is be willing to be a part. You can be a caregiver. You can be HIV positive. You don't have to share who you are. You cannot be HIV. You can be a caregiver, a family member, an ally. You can be a part of this community, because it's a community for all people. And I know another thing we need to talk about the next time we meet here, Eric. We need to talk about my book, because I have a book out called
Yeah,
Stories from the Rideshare Driver's Seat, and we haven't talked about that yet on Conversation with Whiskey Blue and Eric too either.
right.
So we'll make,
Let's work on that next time.
we'll do that for
Because
the hotlines, and we can do that on the same night.
yeah, yeah. Alrighty.
Veronica, we've been grateful to have you here today. Is there
Thank you,
anything you
Ron.
want to say before we close, Veronica?
Hope y'all have a good night.
You
Well, we
too.
thank
Eric,
you.
have a good and blessed night.
All right. Eric, is there any final words you have?
Enjoy Pride. Enjoy Pride and make it count. Um, just keep fighting. I mean, I seriously really want people to understand the fight is not over. We have so much work to do. Um, but yeah, have fun. Love you. Peace.
And I want to say in closing, love yourself. Before you will ever really be able to celebrate pride, you have got to start with self love. Learn to love yourself and your authentic self and who you are, and embrace yourself and your authentic self and who you are. And when you love yourself, you'll be able to love other people. If you don't love you, then you will not be able to love others. So the first thing is to pour into you and to love everything about yourself and everything that God made you to be. I know there are people say God didn't make you to be. Listen, that's because they haven't had that experience. And so people don't understand what they haven't had the experience of. All right. And so really, they really shouldn't be talking about it at all. You know what I'm saying? But what they need to be doing is saying, if I had that experience, how would I want people to treat me? And then treat people who are having that experience the way you would want to be treated if you had that experience. Because listen to me, I have never had the experience of wanting to dress like a woman or put on women's clothing. I have never felt like I was a female trapped in a male body. But guess what? If I had that experience, I would want people to love me. And that's why I love trans people. I love people no matter what their experience is because it's their story and their experience. And all I owe anybody is to love them. And I'm going to love people whether y'all like it or not. I'm going to keep loving them. Whether you think I should or not, I'm going to keep loving everybody that needs to be loved because we all need love. Love, respect, kindness, peace, and unity. If you make a decision to walk in that, it'll take you a long way. God bless you all. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. You know, namaste, assalamu alaikum. You know, all of those things. I love all of y'all. Good evening. Have a good night.
Okay.